We are so back.
My voice is like halfway gone. I scream like for at least half of the second hour.
As you should.
Between
I want everyone to know just now, I looked down to tweet and I like the top button of my thing came off and I was like, oh, not for free. Oh my god.
oh,
So
okay. Well,
hi everybody. We are so back. Howdy.
y'all, I'm gonna be honest. The good stuff was so good tonight. I'm not sure I even care about anything that was even semi bad. Even like Jericho, I just turned the sound off. I'm not even dealing with you no more. Like, friends, we're so back. Y'all, we're so back.
So back and we're so black, everybody.
We're so back. We're so black. And before we get into the black, let's get into a major announcement that broke literally overnight.
No. Stop right fucking there. I hate every single person that watches this show, every single person that follows Black Girl Wrestling, and every single person that follows me. How the hell did nobody tell me that there was going to be a Kenny Omega appearance next week? That is absolutely outlandish. I trusted you people.
Dani, I'm gonna hold your hands while I say this. Sister, you don't answer text. Even if I did send it to you, you would have never seen it. You wouldn't have never seen it.
Kenny Omega's different. Kenny Omega is different. 9 times out of 10, somebody could text me and be like, "Oh, Dani, my house on fire," and I could be like, "What I'm gonna do?" Kenny Omega is not the same as dying. I was alive. And nobody cared to tell me. So I got beef with every single person on this fucking.
You want to know what's crazy?
Thing, every single person forever.
I was watching the TL for you for so long. I said, "Where the fuck is Dani?" I said, "Where is she?" Literally, where is she, guys?
I was tweeting from the Black Girl Wrestling account at some point, and I didn't even see it. And I know some of y'all niggas, it's not a secret that I run that fucking Twitter. I know some of y'all niggas saw me tweeting, and nobody said, Kenny Omega. Do you care if I live or die?
Listen, I would like to say it was after midnight. I think I was gonna do, you know how like you do like one last swipe, one last scroll on Twitter before you go to bed. Like you okay, just one more. And typically that last scroll, it never really amounts to anything. But on this one occasion, this one scroll actually changed my life. I saw people talking about, oh my God, Kenny. I said, Kenny. I looked at New Japan and I said, oh my God. No, here's the thing. This is what I saw first. What I saw first was I thought it was just like, oh, new Kenny content dropping, because I saw the tweet about the interview with the YouTube link. And I was like, oh, okay. Because, it was the same interview they teased with the Tana teaser. So I just like, oh, they're finally releasing it. This is cool. And I was like, actually, I'll just watch it tomorrow. Honestly, it'd be something I could do on my commute to work. Listen to it. But then I keep scrolling. And they said power struggle finna be lit. Power struggle, nigga. Like power struggle. I said, oh my God, we are so bad. I turned on the interview right then. Y'all, it's no secret that New Japan has already got back in my good graces. By, with Zack Sabre Jr., Oil and TMDK. I've already been living like Larry. Kevin Knight is a champion. We've been doing it up. But you mean to tell me that Kenny, by God, Omega not only is appearing soon, he's gonna be Monday.
Stop. Because guys,
we are so back. And I want to say this after. Keep in mind, the past week on Twitter has been longtime wrestling fans just dooming and glooming. It's so over. It's never going to be same again. The game is cooked. We're never going to be happy again. It's just never over. Listen, let me tell you something.
By God.
As long as Kenny Omega has breath in his body, wrestling will always be alive to me. I can't speak for nobody else but me. I made a tweet the other day. I said, longtime wrestling fans, you have 3 options. You can either get lost in nostalgia. You can accept the game for what it is and pick the bright spots, or you can walk away. This is my bright spot.
There's a fourth option.
What's the word?
Delusion.
I mean, I feel like that goes with nostalgia.
I mean, delusion, you just, the only things that exist to you even happen. Sometimes y'all be talking about stuff that happens at other companies. I'm like, no, it didn't. I wish Ring of Honor had a male world champion right now. It's really a shame that there's nobody holding
It
that.
really sucks that they literally, wow, Athena's really in a company by herself. Athena and Red Velvet.
Crazy.
They're really running a company by themselves. That is so crazy.
Kenny Omega, I would do anything for you. And I
mean, anything.
And y'all don't understand. Like, without going into too much detail, the past 6 weeks of my life, man. Dear God. And side note, if you don't fucking vote, I'm gonna bite you in your goddamn sleep.
Yeah, we vote around here.
I will literally choke you out. This is gonna be a thing. Past 6 weeks of my life have been insane. It continues to be. I needed this. Bad.
And I'm gonna be honest, like, I've realized too, of just sometimes maybe we are even just I'll take accountability for myself. Sometimes just throw words around, right? Like, this person is great, this person is awesome, I love this person. And I realized that a lot of wrestlers I say that about, I don't really feel that way about you. I like you. I think you're cool. You're kind of good, and I think you have potential to grow into something great. But let me tell you, when it comes to that man, he reminds me of having wrestling that I love, like, to the point to where even when in that interview when Kenny is talking, I realize how I view wrestling, how I watch wrestling. So much of it is influenced just by his philosophy on wrestling, how I absorb it, how I consume it. Like, that's genuine influence. Like, you can't, that's not just being a wrestler, that's being a
game changer,
a visionary, like a game changer, like an actual somebody who has the foresight to not just think about a match or how in the context of, what is, but a match in the existence of what could be. Is that what Kamala said? Oh my God. But I'm just saying, like,
he is a mastermind at creating the perception that the audience will have.
Absolutely. And
in a way that nobody else is.
And having matches that will be his culturally significant, like performances, rivalry, storylines that you can actually say this changed the course of wrestling as we knew it at the time, of just nobody's like it, to the point to where in an era when everybody's concerned about numbers and ratings and engagement, he can drop an announcement that he's coming back to New Japan after midnight, and he knows that everybody's going to jump. I stopped the world.
And guess what? I said how high.
I stopped the world. World stop.
Carry the fuck on. And look, it's no secret over here at the Dynamite Book that we're pretty big Kenny Omega fans. And we won't harp on this too much because there was actually a show that happened tonight. But this matters first and foremost.
It clearly does. I mean, when you look at the tag title match, it clearly matters. Yeah. Like,
honestly, you look at AEW the past 4 or 5 weeks, and his thumbprint or his, he's been looming over. Eddie, I'm great. Thanks for asking. But I will say, like, we don't give Kenny Omega enough credit for what he has been able to do in the amount of pain that he has been in.
Hey.
And how incredibly unwell this man has been for years. For years. Most of your favorite matches, he is competing in, like, excruciating pain.
Held together by duct tape, prayers, and
the will of the people. That's my dog. So I'm like, look, like, anytime Kenny Omega wants to be around. I'm so seated. The theater's not open, but I'm seated. My ass hurts, but I'm seated.
And you want to know what? I just want to say the AEW product as a whole and wrestling as a whole, I think is better when you let Omegaism win. Guess what? Who one of the best parts of the show? Hangman. One of the best part of the show, the Bucks. And you want to know what's been one of the best part of not just this company, but every company he's touched over the last couple weeks? Konosuke Takeshita.
Clock it.
Kenny, my go. I got a shirt on today and all. I had to rep. Let me tell you, like his influence is palpable, and it's just see, it just made me so happy. Like I'm just so happy. He seems healthy, and he seems happy, and he seems like he wants to come back, and that's why everybody. I hate when people say like, "Oh my gosh, if Kenny never wrestles again, I'll be okay." Actually, no. I want him to be healthy, of course, but I know that Kenny Omega still wants to be the best in the world, and as long as he wants it, I want it.
And I'm gonna get it. And I'm gonna get it.
And that's
but I gotta be so honest with you. Kenny Omega could come out there and stand, and I would say, "Yep,
Bro, I will never forget that. And he's so selfless. And this was not supposed to be 14 minutes about Kenny Omega, but he deserves. He's so selfless because we have to remind ourselves, y'all. We saw him in May. He pulled up. He had before he even got surgery. He was already in pain. He still hit 2 snapdragons and he ripped that shirt open, and the abs were still there, brother. No days off. No days off.
This motherfucker had his match with MJF actively dying. Are you fucking serious?
There will never be
another. Over there, you can't lace his boots. Shut the fuck up.
There will never be another. There will never be another. And so Kenny Omega, we will be watching Power Struggle.
Guys, look at
everybody. See, oh, those are really cute. Are those Wicked themed?
Thanks, Dad. Not on purpose. But...
Oh, okay, cool. But yes, watch New Japan. It's actually been really good lately, and I will say, if you are close to any shows where you can go to these upcoming strong shows, I highly recommend it. Takeshita has announced that he's going to be defending the AEW International Championship at both of them, at both Fighting Spirit Unleashed and Strong Style Evolved. So, and he's going to be at Wrestle Dynasty. So win-win, guys. Also, Konosuke Takeshita, hi. We didn't do the show last week, but hey, sir, what you've been doing, Maple Leaf Pro, these photo shoots, generational talent. That generational talent. I mean, incredible live show charisma.
Incredible live show.
But also, too, of just like that aside, actually top 5 wrestler in the world.
No, genuinely. To me, he is currently the best in the world. And so I don't ever want that to be lost when we talk about just how fine this man is. Like it is all merit based. Everything we say about Konosuke Takeshita as a wrestler, everything is separate from what I think about Konosuke Takeshita as far as People Magazine needing to call him.
I would also like to say that one thing we don't do in the show, we don't endorse shitters. Every man that we name on this show that we give compliments, they are actually the best in the world. You just gotta cry about it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
They're all great.
Normalize being right, because that's what the fuck we do.
Because
just we both went brazy. Just real quick before we talk about actual Dynamite. Prayers and love to Chris and to ELP.
And Vikingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, y'all need to sage wherever y'all did them tapings at. Wherever that was.
You cannot go back there.
That is crazy.
But yes. Praise and love to all 3 of them. For sure.
Absolutely. But without any further ado, let's get into Fright Night Dynamite. And I would like to say, shout out to AEW for actually really going all in on this spooky thing.
I loved it. Like, it's fun.
I loved it. And you know what I loved about it was that they actually customized it, because I feel like sometimes you'll do a theme episode and it's just like, oh, you just changed the graphics on like the screens and like that's it. Like, no, they had spider webs on the tunnels and shit.
Orange ropes.
They had
The fun little
gravestones.
intro. It's
It
fun. Like, oh my God, guys, be fun.
the girls, the makeup, like it was cute. Dynamite was cute. It was so cute. And then even too of like they were like switching up like these really spooky camera angles and stuff like that. Like I really enjoyed it. Like it was really experimental.
I also think that I would have liked costumes could have been fun, but I was satisfied with this.
I agree. It was fun. And if you're not going to do costumes, I'm not going to. And I understand them not doing costumes, especially when Jon Moxley is really like killing people backstage. So
he's killing people, yeah, like
he
killed people about it. So
but yes, next we moved into we opened the show really with BCC heading into Orange Cassidy speaking. And listen, I love Orange Cassidy, and one thing that I constantly talk about, like where I was frustrated with AEW, was when I feel like they dropped the ball after All Out when he dropped the title to Mox. Like I think that he should have been on a trajectory to being one of the top guys in the company, but it kind of stalled there, and it was really obvious. This is where he belongs. Like, very few people have earned the right to be able to say that they can really carry the banner for AEW. Like very few people have earned it. Like it's believable when you say like you're fighting for the company. He's one of them. I love this. Oh God, Dani, what?
Well, I mean, I'm glad you liked it. Here's my thing, right? Like, I understand it, and I don't disagree with anything that you've said. To me, Orange Cassidy's second international title reign overexposed him, and he never recovered character-wise for me. And I have struggled to buy back into anything that he's done since. Because it felt like, especially with the length of the first reign and the amount of title defenses, like that was the time, that was the momentum to do it again. The sequel's never as good, and it's not his fault because he wasn't supposed to necessarily have it, and then it, just mean like strictly from a character basis. I wish I cared. I don't. I really, really don't. And I had mentioned beforehand, like, don't jump me. I had mentioned beforehand, like,
you said this for you.
The whole Mox thing. I'm not sure about. Like, the actual title reign itself, I'm like, how much do I actually care to see the matches? The story that they're telling, I understand. I don't know if it compels me yet. And the only person or element that I think could make me care in this situation is Darby. Daniel Garcia, I care about and I have bought into, but he's not going to win the world title. He's going to go after Jack Perry. So I think that this whole thing is in my perception is reliant on Darby and to bring the energy back into it,
which we also got later in the night. So, hey, but yeah, we had Orange Cassidy, who still does not have a catchphrase. I really enjoyed the promo, but I understand what you're saying. But what I do appreciate about this feud is that it has become very clear that this is very much you have to you unlock a new piece of the puzzle every week. So you do have to keep watching to see where this is going. And I think that as long as people are still incentivized to keep watching, I think that that's the goal. Because I think that Darby has been goal.
I don't think like that though. I mean, to me, it's just like, to me, the Mox title reign is a means to an end, and that's for him to eventually drop it to Darby. So it feels like we're like this is the in between, like I'm not excited or enthusiastic about this. I love Chuck Taylor, but he hadn't been a mainstay on AEW TV. Him getting beat up was incredibly personal to Orange Cassidy. And I understand like the whole locker room thing, but I'm just like, I don't don't know if I care, y'all. I gotta be honest.
That's fair. That's
Who
a
gonna
fair
jump me?
point.
Nobody.
I mean, no, we shouldn't jump people over wrestling takes. That is kind of crazy.
Some things.
Well, okay, that's fair. Next we had Adam Cole versus Buddy Matthews. You speak first, actually. I want to know what you think.
I will.
You love Adam Cole.
I love Adam Cole. That's my baby. Look. First of all, AJ tweeted it, but yeah, thank you for the pumpkin inspiration. That spray tan was wicked, wretched. I tried to like not. I don't think this is commenting on someone's appearance because this is something you can control. Just don't do that shit ever again. Yeah. Don't do that shit ever again.
I could tell him and MJF became friends for real.
You could tell. Shit, it rubbed off on him. God damn. I was sitting there and I was like, that man is yellow. And my sister said, does he have jaundice?
All right. All right. No. All right.
Yell at Brittany. Yell at Brittany.
I will say. Okay. This is what I'll say. I don't feel comfortable yet making like finite evaluations of Adam Cole as a wrestler right now. I think that he's allowed a couple matches, to reacclimate and shake off ring rust. I will say, up until the injury angle, I wasn't feeling it. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the injury angle either. But after he kind of like snapped back out of it, the end of that match was great. I think the star of that match was Buddy Matthews, and I think he got over incredibly well. And the crowd freaking loved him. I don't even know where that response came from. Like, they were nuts for that. They went nuts for him. I really liked the second part of that match. I did. And honestly, like the shaking out of the handshake with Malachi Black, this is the most interested I've been in. This is the most interested I've been in House of Black in a while. And what I will say is this. I was going to say, and what I will say is this: after the commercial break, that promo that Adam Cole cut after that was fantastic. Like, and I love how they shot it too, of just like while he was sitting down, the Kingdom standing behind him, they like matched up the windows perfectly. Like, he sounded like his old self. It was perfect. I loved it.
I think that there were obviously signs of ring rust and also signs and flashes of the old Adam Cole. Yes. And as a result, I'm kind of along the same lines. Like, I don't think we should make a determination on, that this is the best version of him or this is whatever. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't feel the need to. I thought the match was fun. I thought it was fine. Yeah. The injury angle, I was also not a fan of. The only injury angle I've ever liked, I think, has been Danielson. Adam Cole in particular, given his...
Billy Starks had a good one too, in my opinion. I like that one, the Ring of Honor.
Yeah. But for me, it's rare to actually enjoy. And Adam Cole, I don't know why, like, they were saying it, like, on the broadcast, but I worry about it. Like, you know, like, health-wise. So I don't like that. I don't. I didn't think it was necessary, especially, like, you leaving with the doctor and you're not showing signs of strength as a character, because you look like a pussy, but then you step back in. But I didn't think that was necessary.
You know what it is?
We could have done. Oh, I was just gonna say, I think that we could have done like is it still mental for him? Like, he could have he could shake his ankle out a couple times, and that can be the commentary of maybe is it physical, is it is it mental, whatever, and then you cut the same promo and it's the same thing. But yeah, the whole back and forth, I thought that was stupid.
You know what I actually think it is? I think it's that Adam Cole is already, for like the traditional, like what's considered, at least the former archetype of what's considered a superstar in wrestling, particularly with male wrestling, Adam Cole's already undersized, but he's already always been able to balance that out by like being a badass. He's a great talker, like, you know, he has his strengths. But after the injuries, especially the way that they built up the first of the part of this match, that undersized really starts to work against him, and he just starts to look frail.
And you worry about him. Like, it's not
weak.
fun.
It's not like a Darby, because Darby doesn't look frail. He's just crazy. It just
but also we worry about Darby for different reasons.
Yes, it's different reasons.
You know,
different reasons. They made Adam Cole look frail. And I think that they thought that, oh, I understand why they did the injury angle based off of what Buddy said, because I think that they were trying to like go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Because when he was like, "You look frail," he said what I was thinking, right?
Yeah.
But I just don't think that they should have done it visibly, because I think like that's a mental image that's going to take a while to kind of like cleanse out of people's heads. And that's not the first type of impression that you want to leave after this, because you have to remind yourselves, like, at the end of the day, I think everybody really likes Adam Cole. I think some people love Adam Cole. But the truth is, during Adam Cole's time at AEW, he has had not one, but two major injuries that have put him out for a significant amount of time. And I think that you have to think, if he didn't get that second injury, he was very much so going to be the next AEW World Champion. Mm-hmm. And it's like one of those things, too, of just now that he's after this injury of somebody who's been injured. Yes. And the last thing you want to do is make him look even weaker, because guess what? Did you see how we ended Dynamite? Big motherfucker. Like literally. And then, like, even at this point, if you don't gotta be big, but if you're gonna be big, you gotta be fast. If you can't, like, you see hologram, they got Leo rushing them, jumping out of the gym like, of just get in the booth. I don't know what to tell you.
And this is not us making a final decision on Adam Cole.
No.
It's not. Because also that was the intention of the match, you know, was to present that as well. So now let's move past it.
This is a crazy statistic, Jalen.
Wait, it doesn't matter. 37 months. Whoa. But you know what else I've been thinking about? Never mind. I was going to talk about Kenny Omega again.
I was about to say it too.
Sorry, guys.
But it's also about impact, too, of just like, it's stuff that Kenny can do that everybody else can't get away with.
Yes. And that's not Tino shade. That's no Tino shade. I really do like, y'all, I love Adam Cole. He was very nice to me when I was a child. That now we twins for life. We locked in. So yeah, I mean, I want to see him succeed. I really do. And he's by all accounts a very kind guy, and I think he's very talented. I hope that this match is not the way that things continue to go.
When I said earlier this year, I said on this show, I talked about Adam Cole and Jay White, and I said I feel like they are both A's, but they're not S's. And I think that now that our roster is full of S's, it makes A's look like B minuses sometimes. And you have to work really hard to like try to overcome that perception. I think Jay White is working really hard right now. And I really have enjoyed his babyface work. And so like, it's still early for Adam Cole of like, I hope to still see him as an A level wrestler.
But I also, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I off tonight. I was gonna say, I feel like a white man. Fuck.
Oh God!
What was I gonna say? Well, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna say Jay White took a while. to get to this in AEW. He took a while. And so yeah, so I mean, I value them a little bit differently. I don't put Adam Cole and Jay White in the same tier, but I see what you're saying.
But here's the thing: this is why I put them in the same tier. And I think this is like with the situation that they're in right now. I think this is why I put them in the same tier of just like,
show me some.
Yeah, of just because the thing is, I love being proven wrong. I love being proven wrong. I love when people defy my expectations. Like, for example, like in New Japan, right? Ryohei Oiwa, who I'm super high on. Before he went on excursion, I just knew he was just going to maybe be a mid-carder. Like, he completely surpassed my expectations. And now I get to say, like, oh my gosh, he's the future. He's going to lead the company. It's going to be amazing. And that was before he went to Noah. And so I love being wrong. It's just one of those things too. And like I said, Jay White, he really came back from this injury. He seems really focused. He seems this babyface turn is working. Him and Juice are, great as ever. Hangman, and we'll get there. So we'll just see with Adam Cole. I think what worries me the most about Adam Cole is that his dance partner.
I was gonna say it's Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Yes, and I think here's the thing. That's also why I put Jay White and Adam Cole in the same discussion. Because MJF has been the defining character in their AEW runs up until now. And I would say, like you said, it negatively affected Jay White. And I think that for Adam Cole, I think it kind of overexposed him because honestly, them keeping him on TV for as long as they did, even after that, having him on crutches, hobbling around and stuff, like they've made him look physically weak just so much. And I think like the hokey stuff that him and MJF get up to is just like, especially when you look at I would say specifically the second hour of this show.
The time has come and gone.
Yeah, like that's so 2023. And honestly, it was time's up back then.
I had fun with the MJF Adam Cole thing.
While it was fun
until it wasn't. And I agree. Jalen said, I don't feel the need that they had to run it back. I mean, I feel like you had to address it, but I feel like that could have been done with some creative promo work. But I mean, they might have unfinished business. That doesn't mean that I care to see it. I got to be so for real. And I don't mean this. Like, I don't mean this in like grab that tag rope mentality. Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, if they not going to do nothing else with y'all, tag division
grab that tag rope. And actually, grab Kyle if y'all serious about
trios.
This trios run of just. My thing is this. I think that it is perfectly fine if Adam Cole has like maxed out on us as a singles competitor as far as like the accolades. He got the main event, the first stadium show, guys. Like that's not small. He was the first. Wasn't he the first Owen Hart tournament winner? He was the first Owen Hart tournament winner.
I don't remember.
He's like Adam Cole has already, even in a short time, like he's amassed so many accolades in AEW. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. Get back with Undisputed Era. Y'all just go ahead and rule the tag division. Do what y'all gotta do.
I don't think that I'm not gonna close the door on Adam Cole's singles run because that's my dog and I'm gonna stick beside him. All right. One thing about me, I'm loyal. So I'm gonna stick beside him. But I don't mean it as an insult. I mean it in a way that
I agree.
Both the tag division and the trios division, trios in particular, needs something. Needs a shot in the arm, needs something. Kyle O'Reilly, a certified fucking hooper. Roderick Strong, a certified fucking hooper. Grab them niggas. Oop.
No, I mean, as black as Dynamite was tonight, what's a N-word here, N-word there?
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna try to save them like 5 or less. So, I agree, yeah. Grab them and do something in the trios division. You have so much, like there's nobody stopping you from that right now.
And I think they need you need big time singles wrestlers. I think that's when the pairing singles wrestlers, guys who have like legitimate viable singles career, That's always been helpful to the tag division. I mean, look at Kenny and Hangman. Look at Swerve and our way. Even like, you know, you got to think, even though they didn't win the belts, even Mox and Eddie were a tag team for a long time. Of just, that's what we need to get back to. Like, you know, the history's there. I'm here for it. Let's revive the Undisputed Era. Listen, if some of y'all talking about he need to go back to Tuesday nights, this is the truth. Adam Cole is signed until like what, 2027? He's not going anywhere. So you better get used to him. He's not going anywhere, and his friends are gonna stay too. So let's just all have a party.
And that's that on that. Like,
that's that on
but
that.
I do, like I said, like, I don't mean it in an insulting way. I think that the trios division needs you.
Correct.
I don't think that the solo sphere of AEW male wrestlers needs you right now.
Bobby Fish, we good.
I can say, shut up. Y'all are annoying.
I think, Chloe, that's right. I think the problem is people think that going to the tag trios division is a downgrade when it isn't. I think part of that is also too of just like, I think AEW was able to overcome that problem better than just about any other company because they put such a big emphasis on their tag division at the time. So no, it didn't seem like a downgrade when those guys were in the tag division. As long as the tag division is booked well, it won't seem like a downgrade. And I think, like, how do I say this? I don't want to use her as an example, but you can see in other companies that when a tag championship is not prioritized.
She talking about,
yes, my queen. I'm staring at her action figure. Is it the brain? My sister has suffered dramatically from being in a tag team because a tag division isn't prioritized. Being in a tag team won't be a downgrade as long as a tag division is strong.
And I think what AEW has struggled with is that it seems like sometimes we have long periods of time where you're just putting people together for the sake of putting them together. And that is where I could see the perception of a downgrade into the tag division, because there's not, like you said, it booking wise, there's no real plan for these people. They don't have a name together. They don't have any chemistry. They don't have any backstory. We've just decided that we're going to pair them together because we don't know what to do with them on a single sphere. This isn't that to me. This is not that. This is a partnership or a pairing or a trio that makes absolute sense and that fits better into the current realm of the company, you know.
And also too, let's just be honest, the tag division is beefing up. There's so many things happening. There's actual legitimate, not just legitimate teams are forming, legitimate stables are forming. Top Flight is a stable now. LFI is a stable now, like a legit stable now. Like we got the Hurt Syndicate out here. We have the Elite. We have so many different stables. Now, you know, like the tag division, I can honestly say it's better than it was a couple weeks ago. I can see they've actually created and built.
That's for sure. Dear God. That like tag team showcase. Oh, brother.
That casino tag, I ain't gonna lie, Tony Khan, they should have hung. They should have hog-tied you.
Wait,
I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, that reminds me. You know, we didn't do the show last week. Last week, I was blocked on the Black Girl Wrestling account by a certain hairless tag team member.
Oh, I've been blocked for a long time.
Here's my thing, right? On my personal account, completely get it. I be calling you and your partner, I call him Commissary Cash Wheeler. I get it. I understand. Black Girl Wrestling, I don't bother nobody on Black Girl Wrestling. I understand that it was most likely just because of my association with other folks more than any, you know, you probably just went and did a mass blocking of people that followed one person. But I'll tell you what, I don't give half a fuck, you bald bitch. I hate you.
Oh, that took a turn. Oh, I would like to say I've been blocked by said person for so long, and it's crazy because I had him muted before that. We've argued on Twitter before. Like,
yeah, I know.
I hate when, like, don't block me if I already have you muted. I should just block you the first time. I kind of hate that I didn't get to do it first. And so I'm ready. I'm gonna block back in case you ever try to go unblock me. I want you to know you're still blocked.
Like I said, it just took me aback because on my personal account, which is unblocked, be so for real. On my personal account, completely understand. Black or wrestling, I don't bother nobody. I don't at nobody. I don't use no fucking hashtags. I live in my own little lane. Was it the first word of the handle that really got you?
I have so many things I want to say.
Bitch. Shut the fuck up.
Follicle
deficient ass nigga.
The things I gotta say, I can't say on camera right now.
That's fair. See, Lyric also has a future in this. I don't. Come outside.
I will say, if Dani is swinging, I'm also coming outside. I just want y'all to know that. I have a lot of things. I do be taking the high road, but if my people do decide to take it to hell, I am riding.
And y'all seen it before. Like I said, when Lyric be getting into something, or when somebody talking crazy about Lyric, I'm in that mug.
I will say too, and I don't like being told no. I hate being told no. It's just like when I really get involved, shit gets handled quickly.
I'll dox your mama, ho. Let's go. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Let's move on. Oh, okay. Oh. Kyle Fletcher. I love it. Kyle Fletcher was one of the best parts of Dynamite last week. I'll say that. Him shaving his head was crazy. I
was so scared because when he stopped, he just left the thing in the back. I was so scared. I was like, you gotta do the whole thing, brother. You gotta go all the way. But he did.
The buzz cut looks good. It does.
I was worried about it. It actually does look good.
Like, he really looks like a star. Ever since he killed Will Ospreay, his presentation, I'm not a big Don Callis fan, but I will say after All In, the way that they've pivoted, like the family between Fletcher and Takeshita, they look like money.
It hasn't been about Don Callis. That's why he's
censored
from the story. And sorry, I have the hiccups. Made me forget.
It's okay. But Kyle looks like a star. He's in his Top Gun era.
No, literally. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I tweeted it earlier, but like, that's just like insane to me to have them big shoulders, that bald head, and that princess waist. Like, girl, who is she? Who is this diva?
Then, speaking of my favorite diva, Mark Davis came back, y'all. I almost broke. I know whoever lived next to me, I know they was almost called the cops. I was screaming, crying, throwing up. This shit means something to me. Last time that I saw, the second to last time. Was it the second to last time? Yeah, probably the second to last pay-per-view that I ever got to go see. Third to last pay-per-view I ever got to see. I forgot about Forbidden Door, my fault. They were on there. But the last pay-per-view that I ever got to see Aussie Open on was actually New Japan Capital Collision. And the main event was Okada and Tanahashi versus the Motor City Machine Guns versus Aussie Open in a three-way for the New Japan Strong Tag Team Championships. Kyle Fletcher almost made himself unable to ever have children because he literally he went balls to the barricade. And I just remember I was just like, this is the greatest tag team ever. They're going to win everything. They have won the IWGP belts. They have won the New Japan Strong belts. They had won the Ring of Honor belts. And it was only a matter of time that they was going to win the AEW Tag Team Championships. Like, I've been a big Aussie Open fan.
I love Aussie Open.
Like, truly, like Charlie, that's how we met. She saw Aussie Open versus FTR at the
Boo!
It was actually a great match though. Royal Quest 2, and she was like, it was match of the year. And I was like, huh?
I don't have to.
That was 2022. Oh, okay. No, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was terrible. It was terrible. And I was like, hey, she said that's like match of the year. I was like, oh, where's that? I'm gonna go watch it. But moral of the story, I love Aussie Open. So like seeing Mark Davis, he looked like a disappointed father. It was great. I can't wait to see. I can't say that. I can't say that. But it's been really nice to have him back. No. What I was gonna say was gonna be so inappropriate. It's very nice to have him back. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Okay, I just said that I would fight that grown man. So
I mean, fighting grown men. Men deserve to be fought.
All the time.
Men deserve to be fought. This wasn't going to be a fight. This was going to more so objectification.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get to that part too. So
I was going to do that anyway because that's just how I am. But this was great. Also, I loved how this segment was filmed. Like the way that the camera followed them. They even followed like Davis coming back through the tunnel. Amazing. I loved the framing of this shot.
I think it'll be really, really interesting to see where they go with this because I know where I want. Mark Davis, you have to get in that goddamn family for me. Because again, like I said about the trios division, I'm not trios division, about the tag division, needing teams, Kyle Fletcher puts you in an interesting circumstance because you have been balling as a single star. So, and we have been having that conversation like in the back of our heads, like, what about when Mark Davis comes back? What about Mark Davis comes back? And now it's actually here. And I think what I want versus what AEW is going to do is very interesting. But no, when he said, "Oh, Will Ospreay, come out here," I was fully convinced it was going to be nobody's here. See, he's scared. I was like, wait, I know that music.
Here's the thing.
It calls to me.
I don't know what AEW is going to do here. And I think I used to think that they were going to do here, but I genuinely don't because I didn't expect him to be back this early. And because he is back this early, what that tells me is that it's currently not tomorrow. Friday is November 1st. We are now 4 months out we will be 4 months out from a stadium show, which is where Australia. I don't think you can have a stadium show in Australia without some Aussies. And it don't get more Aussie than Aussie Open. Now, will they be in there? At first, I thought that they were building to Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher at the stadium show. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think they're gonna hold. I don't think they're gonna hold Kyle Fletcher off TV that long. And not Kyle Fletcher. I mean, Will Ospreay off TV that long, and they can't postpone that match 4 months. I don't think that they can postpone that 4 months. Maybe Full Gear. So what that tells me is like I'm thinking I would do a tag match, but who would be Will Ospreay's partner? That's more so the question. Aussie Open. Oh my god. Aussie Open versus Will Ospreay stadium show in Australia.
Might be Ricochet.
I'm doing these noises because I don't got that thing that Joe Budden be using. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna get one of them buttons.
Aussie versus Ospreay and Ricochet at Suncorp Stadium. I like that because here's the thing. This is what I think at this point. Kyle Fletcher's great, and I think Aussie Open's great, and I think Will Ospreay's great, and I think everybody's great. But if an Australian absolutely just has to main event that show, it should probably be Tony.
Depends.
It depends on the match. No, I do agree. It depends on the match. But
it's hard for me to see. It's hard for me to see a match big enough for her for that could be built in a reasonable amount of time. That I think they'll actually do.
Her return. They're already starting to tease her return though. Did you see that video they dropped?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tony's been, she's been killing it all over the world. Ooh, trying to think. Who can Tony face that she hasn't faced that's not Mercedes? I don't think that they're going to put Tony and Mercedes. Only person I could think of is, do you put Athena in there?
I don't think so.
But I don't think Athena should lose. I don't think Athena should lose. Even if it is at a stadium, she'll get her moment in July.
Tony Mariah, I don't think so. And for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think Mariah's going to hold the belt that long.
No. I think she's full gear or World's End at the earliest. I mean, at the latest.
At the latest. Yeah, I don't think that Mariah's going to hold the belt that long. And I don't know if a grudge match with Mariah that is not for the belt is big enough to main event that show, because they've already kind of done the grudge match. You know, that it was the world title match that was the culmination. So, you know, I'm is that potential rematch big enough? For me, I'm not sure. Who should Mariah drop the title to?
I think time will tell. If the match that whatever Tony's match isn't big enough, I wouldn't mind if like Aussie Open, the Osprey verse main event.
Yes,
I don't really care, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just so happy Mark Davis is back. I don't really care. Just get him on the card. Just get him, and not just on the card. He needs to be with, put him with them. Don't play with me. Anyway, next we had Hangman. Oh my God. Fuck. Bro, he can't keep getting away with this. This promo? Oh my God. Oh my God. So, baby, I'll burn down your house. He just kept whispering. He kept whispering. I said, oh. And then what I would like to say is that he always makes time to be a feminist king, because he said the men's world championship. I said, yeah. The men's world championship. At lie. He said at lie.
And you know what's alarming is that for the first few seconds of that promo, he looked normal. He looked sane.
Somebody on Twitter, they said he's mastered looking sane while saying the craziest stuff.
See, I hadn't felt that way until this promo, because I feel like he has been very outwardly crazy, you know, still self-righteous, but you yelling and screaming or whatever. People are a lot more terrifying when they're not angry. They're just crazy. And that's what this was. This was so matter of fact. Well, maybe I'll burn down your house. Maybe I'll break every bone in your body.
You know what, though? And I think that it all comes back to Swerve, because I think like that's what Swerve was like when he started coming after Hangman, right? Like even like Mox, I feel like when Mox went after Hangman, it was a lot more aggressive. Like it was more outward and stuff like that.
Erratic is a great word.
What really drove Hangman crazy outside of the whole, you know, invasion part.
In my house,
the fact that
that's my kid.
It was the fact that Swerve would literally be taking everything as a joke and just be like calm while he's freaking out. And he's now adopted that, and he does it to other people, which I think is so fascinating. Of like, now he's having fun being the villain. Like he's literally like, you know, pulling the strings. He's organizing the pieces. I mean, bro, he's just amazing. And I would like to say too, I don't think I got to say this about Wrestle Dream, but that match that he had with Jay White, I think that it might have been their best win, honestly. It was, yeah. Really good. And him opening the shows again, Hangman back on pay-per-view posters again, the merch is flowing. I would like to say we're so back. And when the show focuses on my favorite people, the company,
it's always better.
It really is so much better. And I wish I was lying. I wish I was making this up, but unfortunately,
we just have the correct favorites.
We just have taste.
You know what, Chloe? That's also a great point, though, because a lot of times he do be half naked, and that also adds to the crazy. So yeah, he had a shirt on. I think that was another element that was like, well, maybe he is normal.
Or he just realized even if I wear clothes, they gonna love me anyway. They
Or
gonna fall apart.
maybe he was just in Ohio. He said, "Oh, there's a chill in the air." Anyway,
Breeze, that was amazing. And incredible. Konosuke Takeshita, he posted a picture during that time. It wasn't on TV, but it was just on Twitter. It didn't matter to me. Yeah, those parachute pants
every
go
single
crazy.
time it's gonna matter to me.
Then John Moxley comes out there, has the whole crew in sight. These motherfuckers offer up Wheeler Yuta as a sacrifice. They were about to kill Yuta to draw Orange Cassidy out. Then they start beating on everybody. Then it just got so ghetto so fast. Everybody just
active.
I said, "Oh my god, where's your decorum? Please, Carisha, please." Like this is just, I say,
show.
This is a family show. Oh my god, guys, this just got really out of hand. You had everybody jumping in. You had Private Party came out. Pac is always, ready to go. HOTT OGO.
Fucking wrestle. Don't piss me off.
Nope.
Ring that goddamn bell.
Is Pac in that tag match next week? He is. Yeah. So Pac is wrestling next week. Yeah.
I don't want Pac in tag matches. But that's a whole nother thing.
Well, yes. I feel like they gave us a taste, like this beautiful taste earlier this year of Pac as a singles guy, and I want it. I would like Okada versus Pac. I like Okada versus Pac. I need that. Ospreay versus Pac. I need that. I need all that. That's what I want. I need that.
We had that.
No, I'm talking about like more. I want more singles Pac, and that is why
I was like.
And that is why he needs to be in the Continental Classic. Exactly. Everybody nod. Everybody say Sasha, keep going. But after that, we had fucking Darby. Darby came down from the raft.
He actually scared the shit out of me. I looked up and said, Mama, tweet behind you.
Went full spooky. I said, you know what I think that they did? Rather than like go like the full like costume kooky that they've done in the past, for the spooky that they did was a lot of like eerie angles, a lot of surprises, and I love how they leaned into the Halloween theme while still being true to being a wrestling show, and that was one of them. Like Darby, and just like. People said it said Darby on his Sting stuff. When did Sting come out there with that fuzzy ass pink
Darby
jacket?
Looked like a pinata.
He
looked like Sting. He looked like he was gonna get beat with a bat.
Oh god! You know what they should? Hey, they should have Sting's son come save him. The one that's been living in his yard.
No, I hope they pan up, and that's who let him down from the rafters.
Oh my god, Darby, you will always be famous in this company. There's nobody. There is nobody who can do what you can do, Darby. Nobody. You are not real.
And I don't think anyone else should.
No.
Let's nobody else try.
Hey, Tony Khan I have a theory that Tony Khan is going to extend this storyline as long as humanly possible into 2025. Keep that
bitch off the mountain.
Yes.
I was literally just saying that.
Yes. You're correct. You're correct. And honestly, too, knowing, because like obviously we don't all know him on a personal level, but out of every wrestler, Darby, I feel like I know you. And knowing you, I know for a fact that yes, this is probably the only way to stop you. They had to start a whole company-wide storyline to stop you.
And they
had to sacrifice Bryan Danielson for slaughter in front of his kids to keep you off that damn mountain. You was
because
going up
that
that
is
mountain to
the
save your marriage.
only way. Because Darby, I believe him when he says, "I would do anything AEW needs." How could you not believe him? Bitch got hit by a bus and was back 2 weeks later because Kingston had to sit out. Like he
And
means it.
Anarchy in the Arena, by the way.
Yeah.
He did Anarchy in the Arena and Blood and Guts.
And got his ass beat because that's what he do. But that's why I'm like, yes, I think he will do whatever AEW needs. So if they say, Darby, we're gonna need you to be world champion, so you can't go climb Mount Everest yet, he'll say, all right.
Wouldn't it be funny if Darby ended up being like the longest reigning world champion of all time, just to like, keep him off favorites?
Literally, he got that Roman reign. Yeah,
he got that Roman. Yeah, respect your tribal chief, man. One's up. Yeah, exactly. They gotta cancel shows. Tell him, anytime they go into the mountains, they're doing tapes in the mountains. We don't need you. Darby. You take this night
you
off.
Can stay home this time.
We don't even want him to get tempted. Y'all got to show me
in the Colorado, bro.
They said, "Nah, we good. We good. We don't need you,
Darby.
Darby.
Danger. Like a special breed that man is.
Very special. Shout out to Darby Allin. Next, we had after that all that chaos happening. Private Party looking around like. Then the Bucks come out, cool as a cucumber.
And I said, "Wait, oh my god,
huh?
Is that Private Party?"
Yeah.
What y'all know about that?
Brother, let me tell you something. This is why I became a wrestling fan. The emotions that I felt during that match. I'm talking about screaming, crying, like actual screaming, jumping on my bed, standing up, literally heart palpitations. That is wrestling. I love wrestling. That was it. Like, that was how you make a star. Like, that was how you make a star. My glorious EVPs, my tag team of the year, the greatest of all time, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Stop fucking playing with them. And I catch none of the motherfucking talking sweet about big super king
fucking beating their ass. But you know what? Executive vice presidents, thank you for your service. But unfortunately, this is a private party and you're not on the list. Because guess who's the new motherfucking tag champs? Private goddamn party. This match was so much fun, and I need to go back and rewatch it because I wasn't having that much fun, honestly, because I was so stressed out. Because I was fully convinced that AEW was going to fuck this up, and they've been teasing the split a little bit. I was fully convinced that AEW was going to drop the ball and split up Private Party for a couple of reasons. One, because I was like, well, the Bucks dropping the titles right now, what sense does that make? Because it's all heels wrestling right now. You know, it's Moxley's chaos and whatever. So yes, but you know, that wasn't my line of thinking going into it. I was like, well, I mean, where would Private Party fit into that? And I think, unfortunately, that the answer is going to be, well, I'll tell you what I think is going to happen later. But yeah, this match brought me so much joy. Private Party has been ready, and it was so rewarding to see them get this for a couple of reasons, but because this felt like another one of those moments that was a genuine, like, fan-driven, interest-driven, hard work by them driven accomplishment. Not just, you know, a tag title win. This was an accomplishment that
it felt like we all won.
It felt like we all won because it always seemed like they found one reason. They would find one reason or another why it's not Private Party. One reason or another why it's not right now. And it just really, like, it hit. I think for them to actually get this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think also too of just like, bro, like, it felt like a real passing of the torch. Like, they're not just a good tag team at AEW. Like, the way that that's why I'm glad that the Bucks held on to the belts, because the fact that Private Party beat them the way that they did, like, it feels like you just pinned the best tag team in the world. So now you are now considered one of the best tag teams in the world right now. Like, it's not,
And
it
they
was bigger
handed
than
you
the
the belt.
belts. It was bigger than the belts. And what I loved about this match, the way that it was structured, especially like watching it on the fight stream, of just, they broke this match up and like they separated them so much. And so, like, Isaiah has always been talked about as the star, but like the way that Mark Quinn like booted up in this match, he said, "No, I'm gonna do a dive. No, I'm gonna do another one. No, I'm gonna do a dive. No, I'm gonna do another one. Back to back to back to back." That's what I'm talking about. Like, and also too, of just like, I'm gonna talk about the elevator room. Like, we're black. Like, that was so amazing. And I think also too of just,
bitch. Sorry.
seeing this, like, it's like the future is now of just Isaiah Cassidy. He's like my age. He's around like my age. Like, this is a Gen Z, like, mostly tag team, essentially, like young black talent being trusted with like these tag belts, of just like, that is huge. Like, that is just, bro, like, that is huge. And like, guess what?
We are pouring shots tonight.
Just absolutely incredible. Like, the match was amazing. They hung, and also
great. The
shout out to
counters,
my
they were some really
glorious,
creative counters. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say shout out to my glorious EVPs, because even though like they are the heels, like them, the way that they put over Private Party and like that show of respect at the end, like, it was amazing. And I will say, like, you can tell that Private Party since day one has been the Bucks' project, like making them stars, and they were 100% the right call. They were 100% the right winner. My glorious EVPs, Matt Jackson was going so hard, them pearls started spilling over the ring. I said, this is a real worker. You will never be better than him. Y'all will never be him. Even bro, the fucking entrances, after the entrances, when they was doing the announcements at the beginning, and they had that camera directly in the Bucks' face, Nick Jackson was talking his shit. They were talking their shit. It was amazing, bro. This is real emotion, like that, like that. You go.
It's no, I mean, this is
I'm
so
so
exciting.
up, bro. I'm so hyped.
Private Party, for people that bought stock early, this was also, because think about the journey that Private Party has gone through in AEW.
That's day one stuff.
First of all, that's day one stuff. Then you think about all the injuries. Then the part where Matt Hardy owned them.
Yes.
That was, but my point being, they have been in the goddamn trenches before. That is for sure.
Correct.
And so for them to regroup, to rebuild themselves into this, a better iteration of what they've ever been, for them to commit time to getting better on the microphone, and for them to look like a certified badass tag team, like, it's just one of those.
Have you ever gotten to see their close-up interview with Renee?
Yeah,
on YouTube. And if you watch it, I think now that I've watched that a couple weeks ago, and like seeing this, it just goes hand in hand, like learning their journey, learning about their relationship with each other, their relationship with the Bucks, their relationship with the Hardys. They're coming up through their training school, like, like even like the age gap between like Isaiah and Quinn. Like, and how like they met, of just like, bro, they deserve this shit, bro. Like, they just deserve this. Like, y'all just, bro, they're my boys. They're my boys. Like, yeah, like, we out here.
They feel like my dogs, bro. Because again, they're young, they're black, they're cool. I'm like, yeah, my niggas.
I'm gonna say this.
My dogs.
This is the country. This is gonna be. It shouldn't be controversial.
I mean, people.
This shouldn't be controversial, but it might be. Nights like tonight, black people, I'm talking to you. Nights like tonight is why we should never settle. Like, these companies, I'm gonna hold your hands while I say this. Everybody hold my hands. Hold your hands while I say this. These companies over the last couple months have shown you they have money. They have these multi-million dollar streaming deals. They have money. They have influence. They have power. Some might have more than others in different ways, but the truth is, wrestling is a $1 billion industry, and there's more money and more time, more hours on television being devoted to it than ever. This is not the time for marginalized populations, whether that's Black people, whether that's women, whether that's, Latino people, Japanese talent on screen. This is not the time to become complacent. In fact, this is the time to demand more. Before these streaming deals hit, before Raw hit the Netflix, before, AEW has to Max, this is the time to demand more. They have the time, they have the hours on television, and they have the money. There's no excuse. This is the bar. And I think that we've hit the mark quite a bit and, at sometimes in history, but I'm so excited about what I think can happen going forward. And this is why you keep banging the drum. This is just the start. You got to think also this is the start.
And it's also, like I said, like a testament to what it means to really invest in someone.
Yes.
And to not give up on them. And that is, it's awful to say, but we've said it much times on the show, being Black, not just in wrestling, anywhere, you don't get second chances.
You don't
get, an opportunity to redeem yourself. So it really, really matters when somebody invests their time, energy, money, and believes in you and what you can be. Because like I said, you don't get that second chance. And so this moment overall was very cathartic and rewarding. And it felt like the payoff to something that has been brewing since AEW's inception, but now felt like now is the most ready Private Party's ever been.
Yes. And I think also too, like, even for me, and even we can talk more about this in the main event, but like, it felt like, for me, it felt like motivation and it felt like encouragement, because like when you see stuff like that happen, you realize that, wow, I get to cover that. Like, I get to talk about that. Like, I get to sit on a screen today and like talk to people about this moment that meant so much to me after being a wrestling fan for 18 years. And like, this is like so cool. And and that's why it's important to have, people doing shows like this and like, who look like us talking about stuff like this, because, like, this is cool. This is history. And it means a lot to a lot of people, whether, media covers it or not. Tonight was historic for me. Magic, amazing. 10 out of 10. Just awesome.
Beautiful.
Next we had also Okada during this match. The way he showed up, he did that too.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
What a guy. Love him.
Smooth as hell.
I also like to say that finish, because there was a point where I was a little scared. Well, not scared, I was a little anticipatory. When Matt Jackson did that V-trigger, then the one-winged angel, we got Kenny Omega mentions, bro. At that point, I just knew Kenny was about to come out. I'm talking about I was about to win.
I knew that was no, because I knew that we would probably get Bobby Lashley, and because it wasn't the main event. So I didn't buy into it this time.
I didn't even care.
But I thought they were gonna win with it.
I was so delusional. Like, Like, I kid you not, when I just knew that the lights are going to go out, or I hear the battle cry. Like, when I thought Isaiah was like wrapped up. I thought he was done. And then Mark Quinn comes out of nowhere, jumps through the ropes. This match,
it fucked so hard.
Oh.
And yeah, I was sitting there, and when that happened, I started writing storylines for myself, because I was like, oh my God, they're going to win with the one-winged angel. And then when Kenny does come back, he's going to feel so guilty for everything that's happened while he was gone. And, he's going to feel personally responsible for the fact that Private Party had to break up and what happened to Danielson and all this stuff. So in my head, that half millisecond, I was like, oh my God, this is the GOAT storyline.
Yeah. Kenny's coming. He just didn't come tonight, and that's okay. We got so much tonight.
I'll see you next week, Spooky.
I'm not gonna lie. If Kenny Omega debuted tonight, I think I was gonna like actually pass out. Like, this was a lot. Like, I was so like, between Mark Davis, Private Party winning the belts, like, the whole Swerve Shelton Benjamin match, like then the
Time wasn't right.
yeah, Even like there was just so much great stuff. It was amazing.
When Kenny comes back, it's going to be about you and only you.
I'm not gonna lie, like when Kenny comes back, don't be shocked if we do like an impromptu space of just like there's no waiting till Wednesdays. We will be talking immediately.
It's up. Kenny for Kenny as soon as he comes on my goddamn screen.
He brings the Kenny and we bring the Henny. Hello.
That's for sure.
You know, that's the truth. Next we had a promo earlier on this, but then we had the actual match. We had Chris Statlander versus Camille.
Skip. Statlander, I love you.
Let's talk. Because I already skipped the Learn Tree segment. This is what I gotta say. Chris Statlander is one of the best wrestlers in the world today.
Correct.
I would also like to say Camille is not working.
It is not.
She has added nothing to Mercedes. And Mercedes looked too good tonight to have her heater not add nothing to her. What are we doing? She really had to do it herself tonight. Let me say this. One thing that I give AEW praise for, and I've given them praise for in the past.
Thanks.
I wish TK loved women's wrestling as much as I do. This match deserved longer than the 628 with a commercial. This division is not hot as it was going into All In. How do they get things back on track?
Okay.
Let me do this.
I was going to say. Okay. I don't think that this match in particular deserved more than 628 with a commercial.
I think it deserved less.
Because Camille's not her for me. She's really not. And so this to me was not a direct indication or direct correlation of the standing of the women's division for me right now. This was because I knew kind of going into it that I wasn't gonna like it. The division is not as hot as it was going into All In. I mean, I think an argument could be made there, but I think that's mainly because I don't think the world title has a picture or a vision.
I agree. I think also too of just the women's division is hot in different ways. And this is what I mean this in the sense of like now I feel like we're doing the first roster rotation post the timeless era for the world championship. So now we have new women who are now at the forefront. We have Tony who's off TV. Mercedes still like we'll see how long-term this Statlander rivalry will be. You know, I feels like we're in a weird point to where we're introducing all these new faces back to TV and some of the old faces are kind of like sitting down or injured or whatever. And so I feel like there's growing pains attached to that. Do I think that things could definitely be better? Sure. But I mean, even when you look at Collision of how many women's matches that are being had of just like, I wouldn't say like, you know, I think it's still moving in the right direction. I do think it's just moving slower.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about it.
I think it's just moving. I think things
the same way that I have in the past. I don't feel bad about it because I know the talent that's on that roster, and to me, well, if I was booking AEW, Willow would have won.
Yeah. She needs to be on the front lines of, I'm going to be honest, people like Willow need to be on the front lines of whenever this Mox thing extends to the women's division, she should be like her and Chris Statlander. Maybe that's how they end up back together. Who knows? But they need to be at the forefront of this. Like,
sorry.
I'm like, the story is there. I mean, as long as they're both faces, they need to be at the forefront of this. And so maybe that's why they're holding out on Willow. I don't know. And I also, too, I think that, like, somebody said in the comments, world title not moving. Yeah, Chloe said this until Mina come back. Of like, that's very clear. That's where Mariah's end game is, at least temporarily, and we'll probably get the return of Tony at Full Gear. That's what I'm probably thinking. But yeah, Willow's out right now with a concussion symptom. So,
but I would say that something that I think contributes to the less than favorable perception of the women's division in comparison right now is the stat turn on a dime.
100%.
You know,
but I also think too of just has stuff going back to the match that was tonight. It has to do with Mercedes and Camille. And I think it's because, I believe, and that nobody has to confirm or deny this for me. This is not a scoop or anything. I believe that the original plan was for Megan Bain to be Mercedes's heater. And I think that when they fell through, they ended up going with Camille. And I think that, I guess they thought that it could be a one size fits all. All you need is a tall woman with muscles to just fit the role and it would be fine. Unfortunately, this woman that you need a heater for is the greatest of all time. You cannot put a mediocre wrestler next to her and just expect, just because they are big and tall, it's going to be fine. That is just not, it's just not who we are. Now, Megan Bain would have been perfect in this role because she's incredible. Megan Bain versus Chris Statlander is a legitimate dream match. Like, that's a legitimate dream match.
To me, has been less than mediocre, to be nice, because I don't like to shit on people unless I feel like it's merited. This hasn't worked. She hasn't added anything to Mercedes at all. And, Yvonne, LeBron, I'm not sure. But that's a good point. The Deonna and Taya story also felt like they were doing something, then they didn't really do something. And I hope, kind of, that right now somebody that can not revive, but bring the energy back, because I don't think that the division is stalled or it's bad, but it needs some energy. If we get Thunder Rosa back to 100% and actually engaging with folks that make, thanks again, oh my god, paying Camille with Mercedes was a bad idea. One of TK's worst. He still in prison and Mercedes popularly. How can New Japan get her presentation right, but AEW can't? Well, first off, it's that fuck ass song. Bring back the other one.
But here's the thing: you want to talk, but when we talk about the song, and then when you get into that stuff, you can't be mad at Tony Khan for that. That's a Mercedes decision. Yeah, like
billionaire.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. But like the thing is, some of these things are Mercedes decisions. And I genuinely do not think that that AEW has gotten Mercedes's presentation wrong. I just think that there's just been a lot of things that have been working against them from the start. Like, for example, when she debuted, she wasn't able to wrestle for 2-3 months. Then when she was able to wrestle, like, it's just like, yeah, she has other commitments and things like that. I think her only efficient feud, and it honestly, until the end, only was Willow.
But to me, I gotta be honest, I think that part of that is presentation. I understand the desire to debut someone because you're in their hometown or whatever. If she can't wrestle for another 3 months, does that make sense? So I think that there's merit in that. I think that the Camille thing was a bad decision. And I think that Mercedes herself has been wrestling less, which is okay because we see, AEW has a more rotational roster. People don't wrestle every week. That's fine. That's how it works over here. And some people wrestle less than others, and it's cool. The issue is that when you couple all of those things together,
correct,
you do not fully capture what she is and what she's able to do. And I don't think that it has clicked in AEW thus far. And so part of it is presentation. I think that all of those things fall under the umbrella of how someone is being presented.
I agree. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, parts of those, when you talk about like the booking or so being how do I say this? Most of Mercedes's presentation is her idea, is what she wants.
But see, that is another thing that's
another
maybe it shouldn't be.
Yes, I agree. And I think also too, like, one thing we've seen that's been a recurring story in AEW is when talent has too much power over their own booking. And I'm not saying that like she's like Hoganing or anything. That's not what's happening at all. Like, honestly, you got to think about how many women have been showcased on the roster since she got there and have had nothing to do with her.
Not that.
But what I'm saying is that like Mercedes has to figure out what works for AEW. And I think that what's happening is that you have somebody who's known for their wrestling, who has been doing a lot more talking than wrestling. And this is not an environment where that is fruitful. If
Or
that makes sense.
and it's not a strength of yours.
Yes, Jalen. People need to tweak her presentation without it completely overhauling what she wants, if
Yes.
that makes sense. Yes.
Yes.
I
There
even
should be
thought,
some feedback.
like for example, I think I love how do I say this? I don't know.
Oh.
I love her staying like switching up her look, but I do think that like while she was getting to the groove of the count of the character, it would be fruitful to like stick to one thing at least for like a noticeable amount of time. I think it like the red wig. Keep that. Like I think, and you gotta think she's had her best matches in that wig too. Some of her best ones. Like I like that look. I like that final boss look of just like I think that you got to kind of like stick with it at least for a while
to
like
solidify
because at the end of the day Mercedes still hasn't like tucked in yet. I feel like for AEW she's had some good spots, like some really great spots. Like I said, I think the Willow stuff was amazing, and I think when they revisit that, it's going to be like that is going to be her defining rival. And I think like her versus Chris Statlander, this could be a real match of the year contender. Two of the best in the world.
Agreed.
I think the thing is,
was good.
It was good. Emi Sakura was good as well. Just like we know who Mercedes is as a wrestler, but the thing is, like, it's just all the pieces haven't been sticking. And guess what? That is okay. And
good.
what I was trying to say earlier was this is one thing that I commended AEW for with Swerve, is because if we remember, guess what? When the mogul affiliates, it didn't work. The first people, because Swerve wasn't a great talker.
I forgot about that.
Correct. It was so bad, but guess what? They pivoted to the point where they made something so good that you forgot about that even happened.
Genuinely, like I'm
and
not.
So, and I've always given AEW credit for that because I think that their ability to pivot in that moment really made the difference of whether or not Swerve would ever be a world champion in AEW, in my opinion. And like the fact that they pivoted, they need to pivot.
I agree again with Laurent. He says she needs an edge. She needs something a little bit more personal. She needs a real rival rather than a match or a feud that culminates in one. And I hope it's Willow.
Somebody said plus possibly her best opponent in the future is stuck in sub-brand purgatory. That is correct. Well, that is 100% correct. But let's just be honest. That time is winding down as well. I don't think it's a secret at this point. Athena's dropping that title next month to Billy Starks at Final Battle. And so, what y'all gonna do when Big Mama come home? I don't know.
Everybody was fighting up. Every single motherfucking person, top to bottom, women's division, men's division. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I agree. I think do you think they'll pair Mercedes with the Renegades like she wanted as a pivot? I think so.
That helps.
Well, I think here's the thing: if you are going to, I think there's a difference between having a heater and having minions. And so if they're just your minions that do your bidding, and you are the boss and you're the dog, that's one thing. But Camilla has been supposed to be her heater, supposed to be her protector, her bodyguard. And I haven't gotten that. We don't really get that.
Sorry, go ahead.
The Renegades, knowing who they are as wrestlers, like, they're scrappy. They would fit as minions. Like they would really fit. Kind of like remind me of if you go vintage SmackDown, the Edgeheads, right? Like Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder to, Edge when he was, champ. Like that's what I'm thinking.
Well, maybe it doesn't do it for me personally.
I mean, no,
I don't think that it solves the issue of. Yeah, I don't think that would solve anything. To me, I would have approached it completely differently. But I think that the opportunity for her to actually be in the elite was right there. And I think it would have made a whole lot more sense.
Oh yeah.
They
Correct.
did some on-screen interactions and like whatever, and then she was flirting with Okada, and then they dropped it. I think that the thing that made the most sense was for her to come in as the CEO, as that is the story. The Young Bucks brought her in because the women's division needs to make more money or whatever, and that's why everybody resents you, and that's why then you have the built-in storylines with the Elite who've been crafting these things for years. And I don't think that people should just be in the Elite or added to whatever, but somebody of her caliber in something itself that has been brewing for a better part of a.
I have a solution.
Go ahead.
I have a solution. You also have a solution. I think that is also a great solution, and I think that they should have gone with it. But my solution is that she just needs to call MVP. We just need to get all the niggas together. I think that's the solution at this point. Honestly,
wrap it up.
We can drop Camille right now, y'all, and I think that is the solution.
Everybody, Nick, every single on that roster got to pick somebody. Come on.
That's the solution. That is the solution. And that's that on that. That's all I got to say about that. I did like the post-match stuff, though. I do think when Mercedes said, I got to handle everything myself, I'm going to say, yes, sister, you do.
And that getting the back has something in it. I say, yeah.
Exactly. No,
that was more of the edge that we were looking for.
Here's the thing. I truly believe that these next couple months are probably going to be some of the most important of Mercedes' career. And it's very clear between Stardom, New Japan, she's going to got a lot of dates coming up, like some big time matches. This is like gladiator level. Like this is like, I love this time of year because the Titans are coming out. Not the wrestlers. I'm talking about the Titans. They got Kenny Omega on the phone. They got Mercedes on the phone. We got Titans on the phone. They going to the Tokyo Dome, y'all. They got to catch that at these strong shows. We got your competition on the phone. This is what I'm talking about. And because of this, I think that's why I need the AEW stuff to get in alignment, because I already know this New Japan strong women's championship reign is really about to pick up, and it's going to be amazing, especially this stretch from, Fighting Spirit Unleashed all the way until, Wrestle Dynasty. It's going to be fantastic. That's why we got to get this AEW stuff together, because oh wow, she went bloop. She'll be back. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. But next, also that behind that backstage segment between Jack Perry and Daniel Garcia was crazy. Who wins the New Japan Strong 4-way match? If I got the book, it's Hazuki. Hazuki's the only answer. If you do know this about me, Hazuki is my favorite Joshi wrestler. I think that she's one of the absolute top 5 best pound for pound women's wrestlers in the world. The chemistry that was already there, I feel like she beat Mercedes' ass in that 3-way that they had at Sakura Genesis last year. Really was the crash course of the I'm reading y'all comments. A crash course of the Joshi style. It was absolutely incredible. And I think that Hazuki is Stardom's most underutilized talent, who I think has the most potential and has constantly been the best wrestler. She has, and also too, she has so many of the best white belt matches of all time without never been champion. So, I've been ready for Hazuki to spread her wings, get some international exposure, and show everybody that she's the best in the world, because she is. I put her up there with the best today, like the Chris Statlanders, the Mayus, the Saris, I said Mayu, Athena, those types. So I said, but yes, he said, you think you're special? They used to dance for me too. I said, oh my God. That is so, it was very yowing. I was just blown away. It just surprised me when they acted like that. They just got really carried away. And so I digress. Next after that, what do we have? We had I already said learning tree. Talk about learning tree. Oh yes, we had the Bucks leaving. They left. Thank you, Jalen. They left. They said we did not. They said we can't do this. They said we can't do this. Absolutely not. And then they left. All I could hear was in my head was Nene Leak saying, "Woo, child, the ghetto, the ghetto, the ghetto."
I was using my phone as a hotspot, and then she passed away. So, she's been revived.
Oh, surprise, surprise!
It's a miracle.
Surprise, surprise!
I did want to say, I don't know what I missed, but yeah, the Bucks shredding documents, hilarious to me.
Who wins the New Japan Strong 4-way match? For the number one contenders for the women's match, yeah.
What do you think?
Hazuki. What? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Have you seen Hazuki wrestle?
Yes. Yes, I have.
That goat.
It's nothing against her. I gotta be honest. New Japan, at the moment, I have a love-hate relationship with her. But that's actually for an entirely different reason. We'll talk about that. Let's move on.
You didn't make a pick though.
I don't want to.
Oh.
New Japan Pro Wrestling, come see me outside. Thank you.
Okay.
It shouldn't be Anna Jay, that's for sure. Sorry. Was that mean? I didn't mean it mean.
It's okay. Hazuki's my answer. Hazuki's the only answer in my eyes. But shout out to Big Kaguma and Trish Adora. I mean,
if it was up to me, it'd be Trish Adora because she's black.
I mean, yes, but Trish Adora hasn't clicked this year the way that I thought she would. And like, she was on my top 5 this year of like stars who I thought was going to break out, like who were going to have like a breakout year, black stars. And so I put her, Kevin Knight, Queen Aminata, Michael Oku, and Leon Slater. And I feel like 4 of those happened.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have put her on that list to begin with. Not in like no tea, no shade.
I mean, I saw her wrestle Aja Kong last year on December 1st. So I was really in a daze. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I was, you know.
I'm like, it's no tea, no shade, nothing against her. Something is missing.
Yes, I agree. And until it's found, it's going to be very hard to care.
Yes. But y'all didn't hear that from me because she's a black girl in wrestling, so I'm gonna stand right beside her.
Absolutely. Like literally, if anybody puts a title on her right now, I'm going to celebrate. Like,
yep, we win.
Yeah, correct.
That's what we do.
I need Hazuki to win. It means everything to me. She's my favorite Joshi wrestler. Seriously, I need Hazuki to win. Because Stardom don't do right by her, man. And so I need her to really pop out and show niggas Certified Boogeyman. I'm the one to up the score with them. How did you feel about the DG Jack Perry section?
Well, first off, I just want to say, Daniel Garcia. Wow, that's dangerous for you to be walking around looking like that, pushing people up against the wall, throwing people around, but not dropping like a sign-up sheet. Is it like first come, first serve? Like how, you know?
My jaw was on the floor.
God damn.
This is intimate.
So you know what? Actually, hold on. Cut the camera. That ass.
He said, you think you're special? They used to dance for me too.
Yeah. First of all, I don't know, man. Jack Perry memory. Ever since he said about Shibata a few weeks back, I was like, oh,
Yo.
Are you trying to put a little in this or anyway? Daniel Garcia, what the fuck?
Jalen, please. Jalen, please. Enough. She's correct, though. He's fighting demons and bisexuality.
And they're both winning.
Correct. And they got hands, y'all. They got hands. They got hands. I said, who cleaned this today?
Daniel Garcia is the type of man that like
they said something like, Hangman Swerve, stand back, cleaner, I got this. I like that. Y'all said
all right. I mean, you want to put a little tension in it. That's all right. Daniel Garcia, one thing about me, I don't know if you guys know this. I have a bit of an attitude. And I say whatever I want, a bit brash. When people want to call me a bitch, but they want to be nice, they say a spitfire. Daniel Garcia is the kind of man I would listen to. Daniel Garcia, the kind of man you listen to.
Yes. Riggle, what? Yeah, man. Y'all. Oh, I like that, man. I like that. Yeah. What else? Oh, we had a Jamie Hayter, Penelope Ford face to face. Listen, also last week though, Penelope Ford looked good. She looked good. Like she looked really good in the ring. Like she is still shaking off ring rust, but like she looks good. And like the thing is, before she got injured in 2022, she was already like getting more singles time. She was becoming one of like the most consistent people on the roster. So like I'm excited to see what she turns into. I don't expect her to win. I don't expect her to beat Jamie, but I really like Penelope Ford. I always have. So,
you know, I'm trying to get a lot better about hiding things on my face because I looked in the camera. I was like, oh, that's awful. Penelope, here's the thing. In my humble opinion, I've been real hater this episode. I did not think that she looked all that great last week. I am rooting for her because I would love more solid mid-carders in the women's division. Always. I'm rooting for her. I didn't think she looked all that great last week. And how do I say this? She was gone for like 2 years.
2 years. 2 years.
Kyle O'Reilly was gone for a large chunk of time as well. I was waiting for Kyle O'Reilly. I wasn't waiting for
Kyle. All right. But let's be fair. Kyle O'Reilly, when he left, he was already one of the best wrestlers in the world. Yes. Penelope Ford was still very much so in progress.
Yes. But like I think as a result, you, in my mind, kind of start back at square one.
I agree. I do agree with that.
Because you haven't established that, that legacy or that, anything like that. So like,
I think that's her story right now, though. That's the storyline. That's the whole story.
And you know what? I hope the storyline pans out. But at present,
like that, her whole storyline motive is that she's been out for 2 years, but it feels like everybody forgot about her. Nobody knows her. But like Jamie Hayter was out for a year, and everybody act like it was the second coming of the Beatles or some shit. Like I think that's the story of not having like she knows she hasn't made that level of mark yet. So she has to really let people get to know who she is, show them what it is about. Like she's firmly in the seat of having to prove herself. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't care before, not in like a mean way, but like I wasn't emotionally invested in you before. Yeah. I'm still not emotionally invested in you, and your match didn't wow me. So I mean, I hope you can.
This is an important comment. Like before, a lot of her stuff before the injury was with the bunny. I agree. Penelope Ford's biggest moment before this was the tag match with the bunny versus Anna Jay and Ty Mello, which I do think is one of the most impactful women's matches in AEW history, that Rampage Street fight. But yeah, the bunny's not even with the company anymore. So like, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people just have forgotten or just don't care about Penelope Ford right now, and that's real. I was a fan before, so like that it makes sense. Like out of all the people who was waiting for her, there might have been 10 of us, but I was one of them. So that's fair. It's one, like, she's one of those people to where I completely understand where people say I don't care. Like, I get it. Like, you know, but this is also time, like I said, it's time for her to prove herself. So we'll see next week versus Jamie.
We'll see.
Next lesson, we finally got to the main event, y'all. Wow. Them niggas was cheering for Swerve before his music hit. They was saying Swerve house before the music hit. It's nice to have Swerve back. I think gear wise, he looked like his old self, like a lot of like the pre-Wrestle Dream 2023 look. Like that's what he looked like gear wise.
I don't think I noted what he was wearing.
Like he had on, like, you know, that leather jacket he used to wear. It reminded kind of almost,
instead of the puffer.
Yeah, like almost like the Swerve in Our
Glory, even.
You know, kind of like the Swerve in Our Glory stuff. Like that, it looked like he went back to basics. And honestly, I loved that because he looked a lot like his old self. It reminds you of when he was smaller, like his cruiserweight days. And I think he definitely wrestled like a cruiserweight tonight, and it made Shelton look like an absolute killer. I would also like to say, Big Shelton B803. You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo! He about to make a name for himself here. This right here
is my.
I've waited for, yes, it's my swag. But I truly have waited. It feels like an entire lifetime for this. It's no secret what Shelton Benjamin means to me. As you know, a Black wrestling fan, as a South Carolinian, he's a hero. This was amazing. This was amazing. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I can't tell you what really happened in the match.
But here's the thing, though. It was another match, and we've seen quite a few in AEW in recent weeks. The match itself didn't have to be a 5-star classic, because the fact that we were getting it is enough to elevate it, you know, to this whole nother level. In particular, because again, I don't know if you guys have noticed, we are black. Capital B.
I almost did something there I can't do.
Yes, you can.
No. You ever seen that video of that man yelling out of that window, his car window? I gotta show you the video. I was gonna mimic that, but I can't do that here.
I can.
No, you can't. We 100%. And when I say if you've never gotten clipped before, that'll be the day we get clipped, and it's gonna be viral. And we're gonna have to.
You know, my problem is doing this show. I don't even be thinking about that. To me, this is I know you do, which is why we're. It's a good.
Listen, the thing is, out of everybody in the IWC, we probably have the most to lose in a real life. And I think that's what's so funny about like this real show. This show is just because like once you cross that 12 o'clock threshold, it's very little that you won't say. Is this the first Dynamite main event that had Black people facing each other? It might be. I
was thinking about that because in my mind, the answer was yes, because I don't know who else it would have been. Like I'll look into it to confirm or deny, but that was what was going through my head during this match. I was like, oh my God, a all Black main event.
I'm trying to think. But no, that didn't main event. Because I'm trying to think when the Acclaimed faced Swerve in Our Glory for the tag belts at Grand Slam. I don't think they main evented.
I highly doubt it.
Or maybe they did, because the Acclaimed won the titles that night.
I don't think they main evented. But
let me check. I'm double checking just to make sure.
But I would bet from a singles perspective. Yes.
They didn't main event. They didn't. They main evented black people main evented the Grand Slam Rampage, but that's not the same. It was Starks versus Hobbs, and that match was awful.
Well,
well,
so this is our first.
Yep, first of me at least. Man, tears in my eyes, brother. That match was so amazing. Then Swerve won, and then what I love MVP.
Me too.
MVP. While Swerve was like laying on the turnbuckle during the match, she said, "You change your mind now." Then him and Nana, they start arguing. Shelton get out, he start chasing Nana around the ring. Then after Shelton loses, he picks up the phone. He said, "Don't worry about it. I got your competition on the phone. Don't worry about it. I got your competition on the phone. Don't worry about it. It's already done. I got your competition on the phone." And
people.
You know what I love about Hurt Syndicate? What I love about these black people, this is how it's so black, and I love it, is because they could have done that cheap shot shit, but no, they didn't. What they did, Bobby Lashley walked through the front door and still whooped ass. Walked through the front door, did the full entrance, point you over there. He walked up, he looked like a star. And
this nigga said, matter of fact, come get your lashings.
They said, no, the company is under attack. The BCC has been attacking people nonstop, and they still let niggas overtake them. The closing shot was black people standing on top of the world. Guys, it don't
this is major.
Sorry. Y'all not there. I just feel like this is the game that I love. I was screaming, crying, yelling.
I felt like, you know, that video, LeBron, stand up now and face the sun. I felt like that. Like, not the I felt like I was in it. I said, this is for me.
Feel the rain on your skin, y'all. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else. This, I love wrestling. And I will go through I
love black people.
Yes, and I love being black. And I love being black loving wrestling. And I don't think I can always. There was a time I don't think I was able to like mix those two things. I didn't feel like I could mix those two things. I felt like those two things had to like operate in different cylinders of just like my blackness and my wrestling, especially in the context of my wrestling, my personal wrestling tastes. This is just so special. This is amazing. Like, this is amazing. Like, just amazing, amazing, amazing. Like, this was for me. This private party, that's why I'm like, y'all, we got to get Mercedes together. We got to get her from Camille.
She should be part of it. She should be in there.
We got to get her in it. Yeah.
Girl.
What are we doing? Like, especially, like, it's... And let me tell you something, y'all.
And I feel like it's a full possibility because, I mean, her being this fed up with Camille.
You know who should have, or could have? They'd have to turn heel, though. But I think it'd make sense if she became her new heater. Queen Aminata.
Yes. And I've been saying that.
Because the thing is, when you do that turn angle, when she turns, everybody will be watching. When they eventually become enemies, the world will be watching. Because the queen can go toe to toe. And I'm gonna be honest, the queen would add something to Mercedes and make her step up in a lot of ways.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a great idea because I think that they both are a lot. Aminata is taller, but she's not necessarily bigger. And
she's so strong though. Like,
she's definitely strong. But my thing is more so like, I think Aminata has the world ahead of her as a star herself. So I don't know how much, I don't know how much I love that idea. I do think regardless, she need to call somebody, get somebody number. Girl, which team you on?
I agree. I do. I think that Aminata what I learned about her in these last couple weeks is like even her being in the Mercedes verse and like the way that she handled it of just I think even as her heater, she could still be a star because she's just that big of a star. And I think that the long-term payoff would get her to being a champion.
I
And
think the difference is I think Amanada is too close. I think that the
that's fair.
gap,
Now
the
that part
gap
is
between
fair.
Camille and Mercedes is quite large. The gap between Amanada and Mercedes is
But
too
that's
close for her
but
to
that's
be.
why I want it.
But see,
Because I think Mercedes needs that. That's what I'm saying. I think whoever her heater is, they have to be good. Like they have to be great. And I think that's the thing about why I think it would have just hit so much harder with Megan Bayne. Megan Bayne is genuinely, if you watch her in Stardom, she's one of the best in the world right now, in my opinion. Of like that is what Mercedes. I feel like iron sharpens iron, and Mercedes would be she'd be elevating herself too in the process of like surrounding herself of by the best talent that I think the company has to offer. And eventually, like you're like it's all for building stars. And I think like that's why personally I think it could have worked with Amanada because Amanada is so close. And you'll see like the paranoia because Mercedes is going to eventually get paranoid. And then eventually tensions are going to
I hear what you're saying, but I think as far as us talking about Mercedes's like presentation issues, I don't think
okay,
that would have helped.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Because
I just thought about that of like that mental image of them standing next to each other of just like
and the built-in comparisons and the like I don't think that would have helped.
She get wicked. Mm-hmm.
You said Nyla Rose as her heater. I don't like Nyla as a heel.
Nyla,
as a serious heel.
I mean, beyond that, I mean, I do think here's the thing. I think that Nyla and Mercedes could be like some really kooky heels together, like almost like Kenny Omega world champion reign type. Like I think like if there's ever tag belts, I think Mercedes and Nyla
Belt
would be
collector.
Excellent. But here's the thing: we have to still remember Nyla Rose is a former world champion. She has no business being a heater.
Somebody's lackey.
Like it doesn't matter how good Mercedes is. At the end of the day, she still has never been world champion in AEW. So like having a former world champion as her lackey is crazy. And I think that devalues the title, even if it's not involved.
I don't know if it devalues the title. I think that
it does.
Also think now we start just talking about Mercedes' presentation as a whole. I also think if she was going to have a heater, she should have had it from the beginning.
Well, duh. But because they waited so long, I think especially if she wasn't going to wrestle. But like I said, this just further goes into my theory of like I think that a lot of things were planned, but I think that the timing was just so off because I do think that Megan Bayne was the original person, and when she didn't, because the thought was when she left Stardom. What was that? Early January, after winning Goddess Tag League, she did the January 4th show out there. After that, she wrapped up with Stardom. Everybody thought she was going straight to AEW after that. Then she did the Stardom show. She did the Stardom show in America, which was in March, right around Big Business, right? And so everybody's like, okay, maybe she goes to AEW like right after this. Then we see Mercedes, but we hear nothing about Megan Bayne. Then we find out, oh, Megan Bayne's just not coming. So I think that is what happens. Now, for a viewer, nobody cares about that because all you care about is the product that you see in front of your face. But I think that is what happened.
Yeah, if you pull the curtain back.
I agree.
I think that's also.
I think there were rumors originally that Mercedes, when she was going to debut, she wasn't going to debut alone. Like,
I also think that is again another self-created issue by AEW.
Correct.
Because you ain't got that girl under contract.
People only see well, the rumors were that she was under contract, she just didn't want to come.
I know, but
who knows.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those things, man, of just, I look through the roster of just like, yeah, Mercedes got to pivot. I think this stat match is gonna say like, but I do think like, I think that
Call Stokely.
No. This is what I think. I genuinely think that with a few tweaks, this could be the next 2 months could be the best 2 months for Mercedes. Like I said, between New Japan and everything, like she's gonna be killing it. If you can get that AEW piece right, but like I just hate to say it. Well, maybe I don't hate to say it, but the truth is Camille just will not be a part of these negotiations going forward.
She has hindered, she has not helped.
Correct. And I think that Mercedes has already been fighting.
But it's not all her fault.
No, but I think Mercedes has already been fighting a perception ladder, and this did not help. But, you know, hey, I have faith that her
IGGY.
Yeah, I have faith that her and Chris will deliver.
Yes.
But it just depends on like how they capitalize on that.
Mercedes, and they better get time.
Mercedes needs a rival. I think they're going to get time, though. I will say I haven't worried about that too bad, at least on pay-per-view recently with the women's matches.
No. I mean this one specifically because I feel like, you know, I don't want to harp on it too much because I know it's late, but I feel like a lot of Mercedes's matches have been over when they just start to cook.
On TV, yes, but on pay-per-view, no. She's gotten time on pay-per-view.
It's not necessarily a time thing as much as it might be timing and pacing.
That's fair. I mean, she was, let's just be real. Aside from the Willow match and her AEW pay-per-view matches, for the most part, she was at a notably slower pace than we're accustomed to from her from a pay-per-view perspective, except for Forbidden Door versus Stephanie Baker.
But that match in particular is what I think about. Like that match, the last 3 or 4 minutes of that match were fantastic. Those two individuals, I firmly believe that entire match, start to finish, could have been fantastic.
I agree. The crowd, I will say though, as somebody who was there, I do think the crowd had a lot to do with it, and it was weird. Like the vibes were just off. Like the vibes were off. Like there were grown men literally in the front row with like we hate Mercedes signs. Like it was just a really
gross.
Like that was such a weird. And then like they even said, like I said, it's one of those things where
these are shoes.
Yeah, even though we know the reason, people who are watching, they don't care. But like Stephanie Baker, she got to the venue like what, an hour, 2 hours before. They didn't even get to like talk, beforehand. So who knows? It's just one of those things to where Mercedes has just been, I don't want to say a victim because some things like are her fault, but a lot of things have been like just timing things. But at the end of the day, AEW is not, how do I say this? Hold your hands. Unfortunately for everybody, or maybe fortunately, AEW is not a promotion that is built for making excuses. Like excuses, at the end of the day, you're lapping from behind. Being the number 2 promotion in the world means that you always have somewhere to strive for. There's no do-overs. There's just not like, and I think that Swerve is a good example of that, of just like, we got up here on this show so many times and it was just like, this booking is questionable. How is he gonna like bounce back from this? And like Swerve made the best out of everything and ended up with one of the best world title reigns like in AEW history. Of just like, even when the odds are against you, even when it's going to be in your favor.
Yes, to all of that. Also, thank you again. I just want to see Mercedes get put in a favorable spot and people rating her match get a lot of time. Yes, agreed.
Correct.
Mercedes is a difference maker. She absolutely is. She needs to be that, given the position that she's in, and kind of similar to what you were saying about Swerve, like it needs to be you that, and everything about you, that you got to be the quarterback. You got to put the team on your back.
Quarterback of just like, it's just because at the end of the day, this is the problem. You brought so much esteem, I would say prestige, attention to this women's division. Everybody is stepping up. and they're finding their place, but you haven't found your place yet. Like we all know you're a great wrestler, but where's that rivalry? Where's that we need that story to stink our teeth into? And then you just happen to be in the company in the year that they had the best women's rivalry that we've seen from AEW ever. And so you gotta sink some teeth in. And my thing is, y'all, this is how do I say this? I'm gonna hold your hands while I say this, of just, there's a lot of stuff, if you read Money Mag, that she's not willing to do. Like stuff that typically in AEW that works. Like, for example, you talk about Tony and Mariah, what Mariah did, leaving Tony in a bloody heat. Mercedes flat out says she's not going hardcore. She's not doing it. Like, she's not running the blade. She's not. So you got to figure out what works for her in the context of this TV 14 environment. I'm not saying that she's going to she's committed to working like a completely PG style, but it's just the truth of, you want to know, how did Swerve become like immortal? He literally shot himself with a staple gun 17 times. Like, like I'm not saying you have to bleed to be important, but look at Chris and Willow. How did they become immortal? They are the queens of the street fight. Of like an AEW, it's just different. Like, even the dentist is a great example. Not the greatest wrestler, but she had one great plunder match that she was able to ride off of for years.
Still.
To this day.
It's 12:30.
Yes. Oh my God. 500 people here. Thank you guys.
Really? Hey.
They're gonna. We still got an announcement to make. Y'all hearts are gonna be broken, but thank you for coming.
Yeah, Lyric said it like it was like a special announcement, a fun announcement. It's not.
It's not.
Like, what? She said, "Oh, special announcement." No.
No, it's not. But we'll get that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Of just, it's time for Mercedes to be the quarterback, and I do. Like I said, I think that it's going to be a collaborative effort between her and Tony, and figuring out what works for her in the AEW environment. But I do think we need to be honest with ourselves about a lot of things. Of just like, I don't think the blame is on any one person. It's not all on Mercedes. It's not all on Camille. It's not all on, the booking. And some things are just timing things. But like I said, I think these last 2 months, November to January, especially that first week of January, this has the power to be one of the greatest eras, greatest run stretches of her career between Stardom, New Japan, AEW. And so I would like to see it happen. I want to see it happen. And, I think her versus Chris would be great. But as far as the other Black people on the roster, y'all, we are so up. We're so up. This was an incredible night. Amazing. And unfortunately, we have to ruin it.
Bad news, everybody.
Put my hands on again. Put my hands while I say this. Okay, guys. So this is our last show.
Not well.
At least for a bit. Kind of.
Hiatus.
Yes. I'm just going to say this, at least speak from my perspective. This has been the hardest year of my life. So many terrible tragedies have happened to me. And I think that for me personally, I have been trying to just fight through it. And I have, and I think I still am. And I think it's great. And that, you live to fight another day. But I also think that, especially as it comes to wrestling, like, I've been trying to like hold myself to the same standards of like where I was a year ago. And I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I don't have the same energy levels. And my life fell apart, and I'm in the process of rebuilding, and that's okay. And like, personally, I love this show. I love working with Dani. And so this will not be like the last time you see us, and we're going to be doing more stuff. Trust me, like, you will see us. And like, honestly, we're mostly taking these next 2 months, like, November and December, really to kind of like just recenter and like plan for next year. Because like, honestly, 2025 I want to hit the ground running like January 1st, like content wise, like be like truly like I'm really back in my bag. I don't think like I ever really left it, but truly like I want to plan ahead instead of and like have content plan, know who I want to work with, and like how possibly really sow seeds to open some new doors and opportunities. And so yeah.
And just to kind of she left. That's crazy. Well, I'll just say to kind of close it out then. Oh, I was like, damn, she left. She meant that shit immediately. No, I was just gonna say, I want to say, well, first of all, happy anniversary to Dynamite Book.
Yes, this is anniversary week, and so this is anniversary week. Like 1 year, November 1st is the official anniversary, but yeah, this is anniversary week for the Dynamite Book.
So everybody, be super nice to us, and give us things. But no, I was gonna say, to get serious for half a second. Oh God. Well, I think that this show it's super fun. I love doing it. And I definitely prefer, I was telling Lyric, like the more unedited things, because I don't know if you guys ever listen to Black Girl Wrestling or pay attention to any of it. I am so lazy. I produce wrestling stuff because it's fun to me, and so sometimes that means that it's not particularly regular, or it's not particularly all that edited all that well. But what I will say is that this year for me has been so hectic and so chaotic, and it has just been like a lot, like timing wise. I don't know. It's crazy. We're just gonna take some time, figure out what is in the cards for us in the future. Basically, all of this to say that Lyric hates me so bad. I just found out about this morning because Lyric, she never called me, she never texted me.
She's lying. Yep. I want you to know that me and Dani have been talking about this on and on for weeks. Man, when it came time to make the final decision, bro, she's a terrible texter. I have nothing bad to say about Dani at all, except for that. An awful texter. An awful texter. But no, seriously, I would like to say when this show first started, I remember there was almost no shows that did stuff like this as far as having two Black women on screen, especially our age bracket. And like, I barely knew Dani. We've gotten to know each other.
Oh, yeah.
We've become friends. We've gotten to see like each other in person. Like, we are so friends. Are we not? Are we not friends?
Oh.
Okay. Like, seriously, I genuinely enjoy, and also I want to give a shout out to Lo, who was my original co-host. Yeah. Shout out to Lo, aka Wrestling Wind Down, who was on the show for the first, I would say, like month or so. This has been cool, and this was my first real venture doing this, like after shows. And yes, I showed up to y'all book club. So there was a space, and I saw Jalen and I saw Chloe in it. So I was like, when they was talking about Beyonce and the Renaissance tour, and I thought it was just
y'all didn't invite me.
And then they said, it was nobody. It was just public, and I clicked it. And then they said, "Oh my God!" They said, "Is that Lyric?" They said, "Is that Lyric?" I said,
oh my God, thank you so
much.
Thank you, so kind. Y'all didn't invite me to book club. Do you think I'm illiterate? What the fuck? Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one more thing to say.
Yeah, go.
No, you go finish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when I first started this show, I think the only Black woman I knew running an AEW post show was Keeks. And like, there are very few podcasts, like, and I look around and I look at the girls in the UK, like I see T and Tussle, what they're doing. I see wrestling.
The only British people I respect.
I see Wrestling Rhapsody. I see us. I see like, all these people emerge. And I look at Black girl, like, no, like seriously. And I know I've said this, guys, Black girl wrestling has completely transformed, I think, how so many of us view wrestling. I even too of like, if you notice from my tweets recently of like, I don't take things as serious much anymore of like, and I've learned a lot of that from Dani of just like, honestly, don't argue with men. And when you do, embarrass them. Period. Like, just like, why are we arguing? Why are we talking to these things? Like, exactly. Like, just
ugly.
Disrespect men. No, but seriously, I've learned so much. And like, seriously, of just, we live very busy lives outside of this, like very busy career women and, educated. And I learned so much from Dani and like, y'all, she really is that girl outside of wrestling. Like, seriously, I look at her LinkedIn, I said, damn. I said, oh, we friends for real. We're like LinkedIn friends.
I saw that LinkedIn request. I know her.
I said, this is a very serious bitch. Exactly.
That's what I was kind of gonna say. I love this medium and this forum, and I hope that we continue to operate in some capacity. I'm sure we will, besides the fact that Lyric hates me, because I think that shows like these, and you don't always have to prove your intellect to everybody. We have nothing to prove.
We actually have to prove how ignorant we are on this show.
We actually because here's the thing, right? Like, I know, and Lyric 100% too. She said it time and time again. She's like, "No, if you Googled me, bitch." But anyway,
literally,
look, I don't need anybody's validation on my intelligence. I don't need anybody's validation on my appearance. I don't need any of that shit. I don't fucking care. Because I know who I am. I know exactly who the fuck I am. Lyric the same way. So to be able to have platforms like this where we can just be ourselves and not have to prove anything and not have to feel like we're competing for anything, because people love to act like we compete.
That's so crazy. But you want to know what though?
Seriously, now this is turning into like our post-show yap that we do.
Yes, but I wanted to say this. I do seek validation, but I don't seek validation from the typical people in this space. Like, I seek validation from my peers in the sense of like, I care what people like Dani think of me. I think that's why I asked her to be on the show. Like, when she told me like I was like something I did like made a difference of just like for something she's doing, like that was when it first clicked for me. What I was doing in wrestling was important. Like, that's what it matters. What do you mean I never? Oh, you talking about Game of Thrones? But for me, that was when I felt like I made it. Like, I was like, of just if I never like do anything big, that was big enough for me. If one Black woman feels more comfortable in this space, that's when I do my job. And if you feel comfortable enough to start your own shit and build it and like bring other people in it, like that's just like, if that's all I ever do, like I am totally fine with that. And like I seek validation from some of you all, like Chloe and Jalen, y'all come in here like knowing that, and even we seeing Black girls at shows and they coming up to, to us, like trading friendship bracelets or whatever. Like, bro, this has changed my life.
Why
and
get a community?
No, but
this is because we're not. This is not like a One Direction style hiatus.
This isn't even goodbye. Like, I don't even know. We're being so like, I promise y'all, we're gonna definitely do some stuff like before the end of the year. Maybe whether it's kind of a classic. I think we need to start doing spaces. Honestly, more. I think it's a lot more.
I don't have the Wi-Fi for spaces. that's just what it comes down to. But we'll figure it out. We're gonna do something for the C2. Guaranteed.
We'll definitely do something for the C2 and probably for a full gear, maybe not World's End though, but
definitely look me in my face. Whenever Kenny Omega
correct.
It'll be a 6 hour.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm tempted to go live and do a space during Power Struggle. We're gonna be up there at 4 a.m. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. But no, like,
so in summary, January, you might see us on a different platform, on a different medium, on something, but you're gonna see us. And before then, you will likely see us just not on the Dynamite book. There is, however, the caveat. I've already told Lyric. There is, however, the caveat. If next Tuesday something happens, next Wednesday, you gonna hear from me. That's for goddamn sure. And I'm gonna pull Lyric in on it too. So whether it's this show, whether it's not, it'll be something.
And honestly, I was thinking about doing this next week, but I was just like, I'm gonna be honest, ain't no telling how any of us gonna feel after election day. So like, yeah.
You guys don't get it.
I'm gonna miss y'all. I'm gonna miss y'all, and I will live tweet Dynamite.
Thanks for
live tweeting the show. It's just
it's a lot. Life's a lot. So yeah, this is See You Later for the Dynamite book. I do want to say thanks to everybody. Oh,
I'm sorry. Jayla said, "Lyric, we survived the dark winter of the devil storyline together on the Dynamite book. Like, this is bonkers. That is so true. That is so true. I think because that was what was happening when this show first started. That was like one of the biggest storyline in the company, and I was just sad every day. Dani, these Spider-Man voice notes, why do you do them? Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Why do you do those?
You said why?
Yes.
Why not?
And also, I want to know, do you have it memorized or do you like read off a little script?
I have it memorized.
What the fuck?
I have a photographic memory. So I just have to look at it one time.
What a woman.
I don't use it. It's weird because like Cam Jansen. You ever read those books?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where I'm like, what? I don't use it all the time.
Jansen, like, good God. I haven't even heard that those words uttered in years of just culture, talent.
What the fuck do y'all know about Cam Jansen? Yeah, Spider-Man voice notes. Don't worry. They'll be back.
Jalen dragged me into wrestling partially through the show.
Aww.
Guys,
stop. Because I was going to say, okay, I was going to say, thank you. Neurodivergency. Good. That's so true. I've been sitting here all night going. Ain't fucking ways. I wanted to say thanks to everybody who watches the show because, like, that's crazy. What do you mean? Like, why do you care? I always tell Lyric every time we get off, she'll be like, oh, we did this number. I'll be forgetting people are watching. Honest to God. Yeah. But thanks everybody that does. And your comments in your chat makes everything so much more fun. You guys are fun. And we love you. And we'll miss you. But we will be back. This is a hiatus, but not a One Direction style hiatus. It has an end date. Yeah.
Well.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Oh no.
Oh God. Fuck. Damn it, Dani.
I'm sorry.
God.
Sorry.
God. Sorry. Why would you do that? I'm trying to write.
I'm so sorry.
God.
Thanks for watching.
I just wanted to put our YouTube up on the screen. At the bottom, you can see those are our YouTubes. You can find us there. Lyric Sweating on YouTube, Black Girl Wrestling on YouTube. You can find us at our at Lyric Wrestling, at Dani Don't Miss on Twitter, and at Black Girl Wrestling on Twitter. Shout out to Black Girl Wrestling always.
Thanks.
This is, guys, we're signing off for the Dynamite book. When will y'all be back? We'll be back in January for sure. Where will we be? Who knows? How will we be? Will it still be the Dynamite book? Will we be just doing something else? Who knows? Like, because honestly, to be quite honest, in our day-to-day lives, Wednesday nights is a little inconvenient, but
it's 1 a.m.
We shall see. You know, we shall see. We stay up until at least 1 a.m. almost every night. But yeah, we'll be around. Like I said, I'm taking some podcast. I'll be taking some podcast requests before the end of the year. I'll be accepting some invitations I've already started. Yeah. So I'll still be
invite me to be on shit. Damn.
You've been on my podcast this year?
Oh.
Honestly, I think I was going to ask you, did you want to come back? Honestly.
Nah.
Or maybe we'll talk more later. We'll talk more about that. But no, you'll see us. We'll be around. And like I have some stuff that's going to come out before the end of the year because I have writing to do. I have to finish my match spreadsheet for the year. So yes, there will be stuff from both of us. It's just this show in the context of our lives.
Yeah, guys. I didn't mean to cut you off. God. Wait, man. Oh my god, my name's Trevor. Guys. Yeah, I have a lot of fun stuff for Black Girl Wrestling for the end of the year. You want to talk about neurodivergence? It's I don't think it's going to be of interest to anybody but me, but I have a lot.
Yeah. I'm excited for Black Girl Wrestling, and I'm really happy that y'all are in this space. We got to get you to another scrum next year, though.
I don't know. I don't think the way this show is going.
Well, I can't say that right here, but we'll get you there regardless. Okay, I can't say what I was gonna say, but
I love y'all.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Ciao.
You're feeling the love. I appreciate you. Thank you. We'll see you again, and you all will always be on Twitter. But until next time.
Yeah. Set your calendars, bitch. See you in January.
Bloop. We'll have a lot to talk about because I already know he's already gonna be home. Big kid out back, he's gonna already be back here. I know what's going on. Yeah, trust me, you will see me. And you'll see Dani, and you'll see us together. But until next time, goodbye, everybody. And thank you for supporting the Dynamite Book. Till next time.